Some people carry storms inside their chest. They smile, they nod, they say, "I'm fine." But inside, they are holding so much alone. If this feels like you, this message is for you. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not cold or distant. You learned a quiet way to survive, and it made sense at the time. Psychology suggests that people who rarely share their problems are often very strong in ways others cannot see. They learned early how to stand on their own. They learned how to stay calm when things felt heavy. This video is not here to label you. It is here to understand you gently. Let's talk about the inner world of people who keep their struggles private. Not to judge it, not to change it, just to understand it with kindness. In daily life, this looks very quiet. You listen more than you talk. When someone asks how you are, you say, "It's okay." Even when it is not, you help others solve their problems. But you rarely talk about yourself. People may call you strong. They may say you always handle things so well, and on the outside, that looks true. Why does this happen? Often, psychology suggests this starts early. Maybe you saw that others around you were already struggling. Maybe you felt there was no space for your pain. So your mind learned a rule. Be strong, do not add weight to others. Over time, this rule becomes automatic. You stop asking for help without even noticing. Not because you do not need it, but because your brain learned that being strong kept things stable. This was your brain trying to protect you. It chose strength because strength felt safest. In daily life, this shows up as careful thinking. You pause before sharing anything heavy. You think, they have their own problems. You think, others have it worse. So you stay quiet. Even when you are hurting, you tell yourself to handle it alone. You might even feel guilty for needing comfort, like your pain is something you should hide. Why does this happen? Psychology suggests your mind learned to connect love with responsibility. You learned that being easy to deal with kept relationships calm. So you become someone who carries their own weight quietly. Your brain learned that silence felt kind, that holding back felt loving, that protecting others mattered more than being seen. This was your brain trying to protect connection. It believed staying quiet would keep people close. In daily life, this looks like independence. You solve problems on your own. You make plans alone. When things go wrong, you turn inward, not outward. You may feel uncomfortable relying on people. Even when they offer help, you think, "I'll handle it." And most of the time, you do. Why does this happen? Psychology suggests that at some point, relying on others did not feel safe. Maybe help did not come when you needed it. Maybe sharing led to disappointment. So your brain learned another rule: depend on yourself. This rule helped you survive. It made you capable. It made you resilient. But it also made asking for help feel unnatural. This was your brain trying to protect you from letdowns. It chose self-trust because it felt reliable. In daily life, people may think you are calm. They may think things do not affect you much. But inside, you feel everything strongly. Small moments stay with you. Words replay in your mind. You feel sadness, joy, and worry very deeply. You just do not show it. Why does this happen? Psychology suggests you learned that showing feelings was risky. Maybe emotions were ignored. Maybe they were misunderstood, so your brain learned to keep feelings inside. You became very good at emotional control. You learned how to function even when things hurt. But your feelings did not disappear. They just went quiet. This was your brain trying to protect you from pain. It hid your feelings to keep you steady. You fear being misunderstood. In daily life, this looks like careful silence. You want to explain yourself, but you worry your words will not land right. So you say nothing. You may think, it's easier to stay quiet. You may feel tired of explaining your inner world, because when you tried before, it did not feel heard. Why does this happen? Psychology suggests that when people feel unseen, they retreat inward. Your brain learned that silence felt safer than being misunderstood. You did not stop sharing because you had nothing to say. You stopped because it hurt to not be understood. This was your brain trying to protect your heart. It chose quiet over disappointment. If you see yourself in these traits, pause for a moment. Nothing here means something is wrong with you. These are not flaws. They are patterns shaped by experience. Psychology shows that many quiet habits begin as protection. Your mind adapted to the world you were in. It chose the tools that worked back then. Being private does not mean you are distant. Being silent does not mean you do not feel. It means you learned how to survive quietly. But here is something gentle to remember. What protected you before may not be what you need forever. And you are allowed to change at your own pace. You do not need to suddenly share everything. You do not need to become someone else. Awareness is enough for now. You can start by noticing. Noticing when you hold back. Noticing when you feel heavy inside. Not to judge it, just to understand it. Sometimes sharing a small piece is enough. Sometimes writing helps. Sometimes sitting with your feelings quietly is okay too. You are not damaged. You are adapted. You learned strength in silence. And that strength still lives in you. As you grow, you may find new ways to feel safe, new ways to be seen, new ways to rest. And if at any point your emotions feel too heavy to carry alone, reaching out for gentle support can be a kind next step. You deserve care too.